Hi, this is Jeffrey of WIMIM Strength. Today I'm going to talk about, is there only one way to lose weight? But the real question should be, is there only one way to lose weight and keep it off? That's a much heavier question. Now, I still believe that there probably is more than one way to lose weight and keep it off. I have chosen this way. So I can think of dozens of ways to lose weight, but perhaps not keep it off. Things that people have tried before. What the vast majority of nutritionists will tell you is to reduce your fat intake and increase your carb intake a little bit, and also calorie restriction. All of which sound good at the surface. But in practice, it doesn't work. And it results in cravings. People then turn to other drastic things like, I haven't heard much of it lately, but liposuction, where a surgeon goes in and removes a ton of fat. Terrible thing to do. They say it's very unhealthy, and lately I haven't heard many people doing it. I'm able to do it with just the ketogenic lifestyle and intermittent fasting. That's it. I don't need a surgeon's scalpel digging into my body. Not if I can help it. And so on a similar vein, the thing that a lot of people talk about now is weight loss surgery. Now, that's just as troubling, if not more so. The whole idea is to keep your body from absorbing nutrients. But the problem is, it does not distinguish between the good nutrients and the bad nutrients. It restricts all of them. So as a result, you have to take lots and lots of nutritional supplements to supplement the stuff that your body would otherwise absorb. That's not the way to do it. Plus, I'll have to tell you, I have met a few people who have actually had the weight loss surgery. And I know two of them who have outright told me that they do cheat, and they do find ways of cheating and overeating. So, in my opinion, that does not solve the problem. Another way people try to lose weight is starving. And I've mentioned this in another video. That's what I did when I was 17 or so, 16, 17. And I got to my normal weight, but it was painful. And then I was more resilient. There's absolutely no way you'd ever see me doing that now. Plus, you do crave, and what starving also does is it lowers your basal metabolic rate, your BMR. What that means is your body goes into starvation mode, and it will only eat up the fat or use the fat for fuel for the most important things like your organs, and everything else is put on the wayside. Not a good idea. So then, what about exercise? Well, here you see me walking, but I walk not because I need to, it's because I can. Those advocates of the ketogenic lifestyle will tell you 85% of your weight loss is due to following the ketogenic lifestyle. In other words, monitoring your diet, your nutritional intake, and only 15% is by exercise. I don't know who first came up with that rule. I'm hearing it all over the place, but it's true. That's my own personal experience. But this is why I say I walk because I can. It is so easy for me now to step out and stretch my legs because I've lost so much weight. I lost the weight first. And now I can walk much better. I can do all kinds of things. So the real key to keeping it off is keeping your insulin levels low. Now, the ketogenic diet and the intermittent fasting both help to keep your insulin levels low. So part of the problem of yo-yo dieting, and the reason why that occurs, is people are not keeping their insulin levels under control. Their insulin will spike when they eat because they're eating the wrong things. They're eating way too many carbohydrates. and their body is not used to using fat as fuel instead of carbohydrates, so the insulin stores it as fat. As soon as insulin's job is done, The insulin levels are still high for most people as they get older. And then the blood sugar level drops. And the blood sugar level, when it drops, your body says, I gotta eat more. And if you're not used to eating in a ketogenic way, what are you gonna do? You're gonna turn back to carbohydrates and eat more. This is why people have yo-yo dieting. They may be successful for a time, then the cravings come. The cravings come because the insulin level is out of control. And the insulin level being out of control causes them to crave, and then they finally give in. I've done that too with the Atkins diet. So then you have Atkins, and I mentioned this in a previous video. The problem that I had with Atkins is because I took in too much protein, and protein basically raises your insulin level like carbohydrates do. I started craving badly so that I couldn't keep it up. I think the longest I did it was 5 weeks, but I did lose weight, but I gained it back. So one thing about keeping your insulin levels low is that you keep your basal metabolic rate high. In fact, you're not starving yourself. So you're still burning the calories, and your body, you train your body to use the fat as fuel because it doesn't find any carbohydrates in your food intake, or very few carbohydrates. This is the key thing. Why is it that many people don't try to go on another diet? I'll tell you, their number one fear is, oh, I could never live without bread or pasta or rice. Why? Because they know they will crave it. And this is the whole point. You're not going to have the cravings. And if you do have cravings, if you start the ketogenic diet, then something is wrong. And a lot of ketogenic advocates have videos about that topic on YouTube. And I recommend you do some research. I guess I'm a lucky one because I haven't had cravings since I started in late February. So it all comes down to reducing inflammation. The primary goal of the ketogenic lifestyle and intermittent fasting. Weight loss is not. Now, I've heard one doctor say that belly fat is actually evidence of inflammation, and I would say he's right. It's your fat cells are inflaming. They don't know what to do. They're starting to resist insulin. Your cells are basically closing the door to insulin because they've had enough and they're engorged with fat. Well, that's inflammation. For those of you who say, oh, I'm getting old because you have aches and pains, I would say a lot of those aches and pains are due strictly to inflammation. And you'd be surprised what actually disappears when you start this ketogenic and intermittent fasting lifestyle. So I've given you some stuff to chew on, once a day, by the way. This is Jeffrey of Wimium Strength, and I'm 32% to goal. To God be the glory.